Students, in the previous video, we have discussed about parts of a flower. Now we will be learning about pollination, process of pollination and ways of pollination. What is pollination? Pollination occurs when pollen grains from the male part of one flower, that is anther, are transferred to the female part, that is stigma, of another flower. Once pollination occurs, the fertilized flowers produce seeds. Process of pollination. Pollination can occur through many mechanisms. Various insects, animals, birds, wind, and water help in pollination and are therefore called the agents of pollination. For pollination to occur, the male and female gametes must combine together. The male gametes or male reproductive cells are found inside the pollen grains on the anthers of flowers. The female gametes are found in the ovules of a flower. The agents of pollination help to transfer the pollen grains to the stigma. When the gametes meet, fertilization occurs, which leads to seed and fruit formation. Now, ways of pollination. Self-pollination. Self-pollination occurs when the pollen from the anther, that is male part, is deposited on the stigma, that is female part, of the same flower or another flower on the same plant. It can occur without an agent also, or without the help of agent of pollination, that is water, wind, or insect. Example, bees and orchids. Cross-pollination. Cross-pollination is the transfer of pollen from the anther, that is male part of one flower, to the stigma, that is female part of another flower on another plant of the same kind. This is the type of pollination where pollinating agent is very important. Now let us do some exercises. Number 1, fill in the blanks. A. Flowers are also known as blossoms. Number B. It is the anther where pollen grains are produced. Number C. Each petal has 3 parts, a stigma, style and ovary. Number D. A bisexual flower has both the male and female reproductive parts. Number E. Pollination brings male and female gametes together. Number 2. Short answer questions. Number A. What are the different parts of a flower? Answer. The different parts of a flower include the calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Number B. What is stigma? What does it do? Answer. The top of the pistil is called stigma. Stigma is often sticky and receives pollen grain, which will begin the process of fertilization. Number C. Define pollination. Answer. Pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma through various pollinating agents. Number D. Name some agents of pollination. Answers. Some agents of pollination includes air, water, wind and insects. Number 3. Long answer questions. Number A. Differentiate between self and cross-pollination. Answer. Self-pollination. It takes place when the pollen from the anther is deposited on the stigma of the same flower or another flower on the same plant. It does not need help of others. Example, bees, orchids, etc. Cross-pollination. It is the transfer of pollen from the anther of one flower to the stigma of another flower on a different plant of the same variety. Insects help in the process. Example, apples, tulips, etc. Number B. Giving examples describe monosexual and bisexual flowers. Answers. Monosexual flowers. Monosexual flowers are those flowers that contain either of the male part or androecium or female part or gynoecium of a flower. Examples, flowers of papaya and cucumber, etc. Bisexual flowers. A flower having both the male and female reproductive parts are called bisexual flowers. Here, the stamens and pistil are all in the same flower. Examples, rose, sunflower, etc. This completes our chapter number 4, pollination.